your Two Dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Tomorrow, yeah.
News like she is as good as her word. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. I'm JJ, that's Deacon. We are your Two Dads, and we meet here Monday through Friday, promptly at 8 o'clock, just like today. Exactly like today, every single time. We're perfect at it. Don't even check our score. We're great. We made it 8 o'clock in the morning. We drink coffee and we talk about the news of the day, the politics, culture, pop culture, music, art, cinema. We're going to start your day off the best way it can start. And from here, you're just going to be like a SpaceX rocket launching a satellite to the moon that crashes sideways. It's going to be amazing.
It tips over when you get there.
Look, it's not my responsibility to help you stick the landing. I'm here to lift you off.
You're going to have to take some responsibility for yourself every once in a while.
Morning, Ricochet. Ricochet's with us already. I love it. I love it, man. I look forward to chatting with you and with everybody. It's fun. I like it. My wife hates it. My wife is like, you get to talk to people all the time, and I'm like, you're in school. You're in a school with like coworkers and students and stuff. You can talk to whoever you want.
Yeah, I'm literally in this building by myself, and I talk to people say that all the time. Well, you're on the radio. You talk to thousands of, how many people? No,
right?
I don't. I'm sitting here talking to myself.
Zero human contact.
Zero human contact. Thousands and thousands of people are hearing me, but I don't know that.
Deke, bend your brain a little bit. We live in 2024. We already know that AI fakes everything, fakes the voices of our president, fakes video. Deke, I might not be real. It might just be the TV talking to you.
That
or the computer or whatever.
We could be fake AI. I saw something that's funny you say that. I saw something over the weekend. You probably haven't seen these, but over the past, like, I guess, year, 6 months, 8 months, Britney Spears has been putting out these videos.
My God, she's nuts.
Have you seen those videos of her dancing and doing
dancing with knives.
Wait a minute. I saw a video
last
night that took every one of those and was putting it frame by frame and making it go frame by frame. And that's AI on her face.
No way.
You can see it very clear, unless it's fake, unless he faked this video to talk about it.
I mean,
you can see there's several points in there when you go frame by frame and you look at that frame of the face, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. It was interesting. Like I said, it may be a complete, but we tell people all the time, you don't fall for everything.
Everything is lying to you all the time. Even things that are purportedly true are definitely lying to you. I mean, I think despite the fact that we have a lot of real news to talk about right now, we should absolutely spend a couple minutes here and find a crazy video of Britney Spears doing knife dancing. This seems like the way to start. Look at this.
Spears' behavior on
I don't want to
social
hear.
media.
Listen, lady, I don't care about your commentary. Just watch Britney Spears be a middle-aged.
You see how she's spinning there? This wasn't the video that he was doing. Whoa, watch out. So she's got her tattoo on her back there, and on one of the spins, she goes around and the tattoo is not there.
Oh, yeah?
And not in this video. I didn't see this one, but you see how she's spinning and her hair's doing that, and you really can't see her face? So what he's doing is doing it frame by frame and saying, watch her face, because that's where the AI technology is coming in. And you're not paying attention to her face because she keeps pulling down her pants and she's got her hair doing this. It's like a magician. So if you watch her face, they didn't show these two videos, so I don't know about these. These very well.
She's totally lost her mind. But I thought at the beginning there you can see the person.
That girl. Do you know what happened to that girl?
She was in like a conservatorship, like basically her.
That's a very lollipop way of putting it. They controlled every aspect of this girl's life. She didn't
And
have
that's
choice over anything.
right.
Nothing. And if she did start to put up a fuss saying that I should have control, blah, 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 they would say she's crazy in the media and send her off to a free. It was so I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her. She's completely screwed up. She's like Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, she's
That
totally.
man was given everything he wanted since he was a kid. So when he grows up to be an adult and he says, "I want a circus in my backyard and a pet monkey,"
for real,
and they give him one. You know,
there's no good solution here. It was totally wrong for someone else to be in control of her life, and she have zero. And obviously, by now that she's free of the conservatorship, it's also totally wrong for her to be in control of her life because. Like, there's no good answer because she's obviously bonkers.
Evolve and go through the crap that she never went through, that we all went through. That rebellious, I want to do this and try this and blah blah blah. Every human goes through that crap.
I mean, she started off as like a Disney kid, right? So she was like, one of those like a Mickey Mouse Club kids.
Young, so
well, what happened? What happened to Justin Timberlake? How did he shake out totally fine? And she's a fruitcake.
Totally fine.
Yeah, Justin.
Okay.
Let me hold on. Justin Timberlake is totally fine.
Someone please clip that so that I have that forever. Oh my God. I am going to clip that when we get it.
No, you don't know how to clip things. You're old, boomer. All right. All right. And we started this morning off totally bonkers. Listen, today's show title is As Good as Her Word. And Nikki Haley is proving exactly that. Nikki Haley is proving she is as good as her word. As you can see, and I don't know if you know this, she recently won the primary for the District of Columbia, even though Columbia doesn't get like a vote. They're not a state or whatever. She won the District of Columbia in the 92% Democratic District of Columbia. But Nikki Haley says that she may not abide by her RNC nominee pledge. When this Republican nomination process started, and there were like 13 people on stage, they all, except for maybe Chris Christie, I don't remember which ones, they all vowed to support whoever the Republican nominee was. They took a pledge as running for the Republican presidential candidate that if I lose and they win, I will back the Republican nominee. We all made this pledge. Donald Trump didn't because Donald Trump was like, I'm not even going to participate in your dumb debates. And she did. She did. So why did she make a pledge to support the Republican nominee? Because it was message. Yeah, they're messaging solidarity, right?
They lie.
Right.
And then they reserve the right to change their mind because I changed my mind. Well,
look,
so did we.
I mean, like, I very much am a person of like, let your yes be yes and your no be no. If you're not going to say you're going to do something, then don't say you're going to do something. But this stuff, like, I don't care if she supports the Republican nominee or not. What I care about is this is a person who gives her word. I will support the nominee. And then when it's politically inconvenient because, she's the only one else left in the race, she decides, well, the party changed and not me. Baloney.
That doesn't bother me at all. It just kind of displays, it just kind of underlines what everybody's been kind of saying about her character and how she is. It just kind of underlines it.
No character. She has no character.
And that's fine to be able to change your mind based on something, but that's not what this is. This is, like you said, this is a political strategy. It might as well be written down in the political strategy playbook.
If you're going to be this person, you should have had the balls to say this 6 months ago. No, I will not take the pledge. You're not going to make me choose who to endorse and not endorse. That you should have had the balls to say that. But, she has no balls, as far as we know. So this is on scanner.com. Scanner.com is a subsidiary of Timcast, or it is wholly owned by Tim Pool, something like that. I don't know. It's a Timcast thing. Republican candidates were required to sign the RNC pledge, vowing to support the eventual party nominee in order to participate in the primary debates. Haley, no, you don't want the facts. Okay.
No, I want the facts, but why is that? I mean, you're not going to be able to talk unless you sign our paper saying absolutely
right. Well,
you've got to back
it was like
this. I don't like
it
that.
was like the terms and conditions to participate in the primary.
I understand,
in the primary debate.
Freaking one that all the major people are doing. You know, that sets up this situation is what it does.
Right.
By saying you absolutely have to do this, that sets up the situation that we're in. It should not say absolutely. It should say you should strongly consider blah, 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 however you want to word it. You know, we strongly, do this, but, it should be worded differently, in my opinion. What do I know? I'm just some idiot.
Yeah. Look, I just want to say that this kind of thing makes me despise a person. Look, I can't stand people being dishonest. Right. I advocate for your ability to lie. You should be able to lie to the police or anybody else. You should have there shouldn't be no penalty for lying legally, but I find dishonest people to be reprehensible. I despise them. And this is a dishonest person.
Have you taken the possibility?
Shit, can you not yell at us, people?
Of endorsing him off the table at this point?
It's not anything I think about. What I have said.
But is it off the table, Ambassador?
Oh.
Deflection.
Well,
it's not anything I think about.
Here we go. Let me
question.
Sir, it sounds like you are in a different place. Are people misinterpreting what
you're saying? They have Trump on the wall over there.
A place where you're no longer planning to endorse him.
Well, I think first of all, if you talk about an endorsement, you're talking about a loss. I don't think like that. When you're in a race, you don't think about losing. You think about continuing to go forward. What I can tell you is, I don't think Donald Trump or Joe Biden should be president. I don't think that we need two candidates in their 80s. I don't think we want a Joe Biden who calls his opponents fascists or a Donald Trump who calls his opponents vermin. No one wants that. I think people want a new generational leader.
I want that. I want that.
Get up there and be like, we killed them. They died like dogs.
Oh my God. He's so funny.
Like little babies. And we were laughing and saying, you people are crying.
She couldn't take it.
That's what I want. I want some.
I do want that
up there and be like, "I'm awesome. You suck. Kiss my ass." That's what I want.
I do want that.
I'm sick of people fluffing my ass. For 47 freaking years.
Would I be happy with a younger candidate that had the defiant energy of Trump that would say what he meant? Yes,
but there's not a younger candidate to do that because that defiant attitude comes with age.
Yeah. It comes when you get to the point where like, oh shit, I crossed my expiration date. Fuck it. I'm going to have a good time.
There's a point that we have crossed that you get to, it's in your 40s somewhere that you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
I just don't
Hold
give
up.
a shit anymore.
Who am I trying to impress?
That's exactly what I say.
Can't remember.
Why am I trying to impress these people that I don't know?
Yeah. All the people that I was trying to win their affection have all gotten married or have cheated on their spouses or got jail.
I tried to tell my son that one time, and it sunk in. It really did. But Alex was having some problems in middle school several years ago because middle school is the worst freaking time in your life.
It's bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
And I mean, it's like, can you let's take a building and fill it with 300 awkward people
that hate everything, you and the world, and
then juice them with hormones.
Screw up their hormones.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, Alex was having these problems at school and whatnot, and I told him, I was like, dude, why do you care what a group of kids that you wouldn't hang out with anyway, if they were nice to you, you still wouldn't hang out with them because it's not your group and it's not your type of people. Why do you care what they think about you? Why do you care so much? Why do you let that affect your day, that you care about a group of people thinking about you that you just don't give two flips about, that you wouldn't hang out with in the first place?
Of course. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, that you don't know what you don't know when you don't know it. Right. And especially about being young, you just don't know. You just don't know. You don't know that you don't know that you don't need anybody's approval or you don't need their acceptance.
And adults try to tell them, hey, we've been through this, so we understand.
Yeah.
And this is how I coped with it. And you can use that or cope with it a different way. But 99% of adults don't say it that way.
Right.
When it comes out, it's, I did this. I'm the authority. I know everything. You're dumb. And the kids don't respond to that crap. I tried to get out of that way early as a dad.
I want to, I'm going to segue and then segue again, since, Nikki Haley's running against Trump today. By the way, did I mention that Nikki Haley won the Washington, D.C. primary? She won the Washington, D.C. primary. Now, 92% of the residents of Washington, D.C. are Democrats. So she really did great there. It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter at all because Donald Trump won all the actual states that have had primaries and caucuses so far. Primaries? Yeah, the ones that matter. And I don't know if I think Tuesday is Super Tuesday. So on Super Tuesday there will be like 16. Let me check the schedule on that. There's going to be like 16 states that all do their delegates at the same time. Now, currently, Donald Trump has something like 274 delegates for the Republican nomination. You have to have over 1,200 to get the nomination, and Nikki Haley has like 24. So, yeah. So, Super Tuesday. Yeah, she's getting it. I mean, DC counts for the nomination, but it doesn't count for the, let's see. When is Super Tuesday? March 5th. So yeah, that's tomorrow. So tomorrow's Super Tuesday. Okay. Now, as it happens today, there might be, so this isn't news, this is speculation, but it might be that the Supreme Court will hand down a ruling on the Colorado ballot case. Colorado is one of those states that's trying to, like 14th Amendment President Trump, keep him off the ballot for being an insurrectionist, even though nobody has been convicted of insurrection, and certainly not Donald Trump. So he praised the court after hearing they heard oral arguments for the Colorado case. And he said, so I'll just say that in watching the Supreme Court today, I thought it's very beautiful process. I hope that democracy of this country will continue because right now we have a very, very tough situation with all the radical left ideas and the weaponization of politics. They weaponize it like it's never been weaponized before. It's totally illegal, but they do it anyway, and it has to stop. Okay. So we might get some Supreme Court news tomorrow or later today. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been much to Deacon's absolute delight. I'm sure we have been following very closely the Fani Willis situation.
It's pronounced Fani. Get it right. Asshole.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Fani. It's Fanny. Is Fani? It's Fani.
The media saying Fani. They said it again this morning. Fani Willis. And I'm like, she's Southern.
Programming.
It's Fanny.
Yeah. So get this. Last week I said that the Biden administration had an operative inside the DA office of Fani Willis. And so it seems as though the Biden administration may be collaborating with this DA to keep Trump off the ticket, to prosecute him and keep him off of the ballot in November, which you would think would be like totally wrong and illegal. It's definitely very, very bad. It's election interfering. The media doesn't really seem to be addressing this yet. This fella, Deputy Jeff DeSantis, works with the Biden 2024 campaign, or rather, he is associated with the Biden 2024 campaign because his business partner, Jeff DeSantis, works for the DA's office, Fani Willis's DA's office. Jeff DeSantis's business partner works for the Biden administration. Chris Huttman, the business partner of Jeff DeSantis, works with President Joe Biden's re-election campaign. Financial disclosures review Breitbart News showed his connection with the DeSantis is significant because because sources with direct knowledge of Fulton County's office told Breitbart News that DeSantis is a Biden plant inside the office to get former President Donald Trump. Huttman is the head media buyer and strategist at Media Buying and Analytics LLC, according to multiple press reports and a candidate advisement agreement signed in 2023. They're the top vendor for Biden's 2024 reelection campaign. That is, Huttman his company gets the most money from the Biden campaign. And this year they raked in $8 million in the 2024 election cycle. And their agreement goes back to 2020. According to the FEC records, Media Buying and Analytics earned $1.2 million from Biden in the 2020 campaign. But that's not all. The link between DeSantis, Huttman, and Biden is the second uncovered in recent days. On February 2nd, 2024, that's like not even a month ago, the Biden, I guess it is a month ago, the company replaced the name as the registered agent of DeSantis. Jeff DeSantis was the registered agent for the company, 2020 Insights, and they changed it to Huttman last month, just 2 days after a court filing alleging the romantic relationship between Nathan Wade and Fani Willis, and just weeks before Fani Willis testified. So, Fanny, you pick one. What do you want?
It's Fanny.
This hoe right here. Okay, listen. So let me paraphrase what I just said. She got caught out and knew that she was going to have to testify in this disqualification. And he got caught out because he wasn't even divorced. And so he had to fraudulently file some paperwork or something like that. And because these two were about to get the nation's spotlight focused on them, her employee, Jeff DeSantis, took his name off of this Biden-associated company and put his buddy's name on it. This whole thing is corrupt. These people are corrupt, top to bottom. I'm sure that CNN is just going to break this story any minute now.
Any minute. Yeah, I'm waiting.
Just
I'm gonna hold my breath until they do.
All right. It's going to be just like any minute.
Hold my breath very long at all. Yeah.
Let me see if I've got all of the. Oh, there was one more, right? You posted the Twitter. Where's the Twitter thing? You posted the Twitter thing about Letitia James. So that's in parallel to this. Where's that Letitia James one? Letitia James is the.
Find Discord.
It's from Mel. Here's Mel. So in parallel to Fanny, Ms. Willis, and her corruption, you have Letitia James running the show out of New York, where they're, Letitia James just got Judge Ingeron, who looks like some sort of a weird elf wizard thing. She just got him to fine Trump $454 million for fraudulent business practices wherein no one was injured and the banks made money and there was no fraud. So, so Letitia James has been.
I don't remember the story.
Yeah, I found it's from Mel, Village Crazy Lady. So Letitia James is prosecuting this $454 million judgment. And it seemed like she was keeping her nose clean, wasn't having wild sex with her coworkers or appointing her boyfriend to be in charge of the case. So it seemed like she was running a bit more of a straight up office until Mel, the Village Crazy Lady, dug into her records.
Yeah.
And found that that Miss Letitia James seems to be spending a whole lot of campaign finance money at nightclubs for office supplies and things of that sort. There's airfare. In 5 years, she's been the Attorney General. She spent $4,000 in airfare to fly herself all over the country. But let's see, it gets real big down here. In a year after an election year, she spent $300,000 on campaign consultancy, and
an election after the year
after an election.
It was the year after an election year, and it was where she was like, she had like no chance of losing.
Yeah. And check this out. This was super interesting. In 2018, Letitia James got $3.9 million in contributions from 2,900 receipts, 2,500 of which were New York donors, and 400 were not New York donors. The following year, which was, I guess, not an election year, she pulled in less money from less donors and fewer out-of-state donors. And in 2020, similarly, less money, but mostly in-state donors, not very many out-of-state donors. And then something strange happens. In 2021, she pulled in $2.4 million from nearly 5,700 donors and a ton of New York donors, okay, and a lot more out-of-state donors. And then look what happens next. The next year, she pulled in $3.9 million from 32,000 donors, 12,000 in-state, 20,000 out-of-state donors. Yeah, so it turns out that some of the donors on this list are here. I don't have it here, but
I'm
they're
not a math scientist, but 736 and 20,000 is that's a little bit of a jump.
Yeah. So like one. For instance, one donor was a woman named Suzanne from Sioux Falls, Dakota. Yeah, and she seemed to be a really faithful Democratic donor. She made 3,232 donations to Act Blue in 1 year.
She loves them.
Do you know how many days are in a year?
365.2.
Right.
21.
So that'd be nearly, like, we'll say 90 donations a day. Go into the website, enter in your credit card details 90 times a day for a year. Or
Suzanne don't have nothing to do. I mean, she's on a fixed income. She sits in the house all the time.
Yeah,
she's
right.
Got, she doesn't have any kind of bills. The government has taken complete care of her, all of her medical and dental and everything. She's completely taken care of. So she doesn't have anything to spend her money on, but to support the politicians that help keep her completely paid for.
So this is yeah, right. Yeah.
Realize I'm being stupid.
Well, for people that don't really get what's going on, Suzanne ain't a real person, or is a real person whose identity is being used by a bot. The Democratic donors or some sort of organization is funneling money through her name into candidates that they want. There's no way that an old lady that Suzanne made 3,000 donations in 1 year. That didn't happen. But what can happen is that you have an automated bot that picks out an account and pushes money, and you can't trace it because it all went through their website or whatever. So it's very difficult to trace. So it looks like Letitia James may be the beneficiary of fraudulent electoral donations. Isn't that interesting? And I'm sure things get more interesting from there. Okay. All right. So that's our political stuff. We got some crime stories. Deke, I don't know too much about this. Well, let's do this first. I wanted to know your opinion on this. Several years ago, Oregon decriminalized the possession of hard drugs. I think they set up even some needle giveaways. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Ricochet. We'll see you tomorrow. They set up some safe places to do dope. They set up I don't know. All kinds of these programs that are super friendly to people that are, addicted to hard drugs. Oregon lawmakers voted on Friday to make minor drug possession a criminal misdemeanor offense following the state's disastrous attempts at decriminalization. In November of 2020, Oregonians voted for ballot measure 110, which decriminalized personal possession of drugs such as heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and LSD. Oregon became the first state in the union to approve such a measure, turning possession of hard drugs from a criminal misdemeanor into a Class E misdemeanor, which warrants citation of up to $100 instead of criminal punishment. The state's decriminalization effort resulted in a heavy open-air drug use and significant surge in overdose deaths. Oregon lawmakers hailed the measure as an approach to addiction, but in return, decriminalization was a hard lesson learned. So Oregon has been like, whoops, that didn't work. What do you, oh, his phone rang. I was going to ask what he thinks. In a vote 21-8, Oregon Senate voted Friday to recriminalize hard drugs as a misdemeanor criminal offense. The Oregon House of Representatives also voted to roll back decriminalization 51-7 on Thursday. The bill now heads to Tina Kodik's desk to be signed into law. The largest spike in overdose deaths came from opioids and fentanyl-laced methamphetamine, which have taken hold in Democrat-run cities across the United States. Deacon, decriminalization of hard drugs. Was it a good idea? It just didn't work out. Oh, it was a bad idea. It was an obviously bad idea.
It wasn't obviously a bad idea. It was like glaringly obvious a bad idea. And then the people that argued for this at the time, I mean, I could see your argument. Okay? I can see your argument, and your argument has very weak legs that it stands on. It has some legs, but you know, their claim was that, you know, it's like giving out this freaking what's that medicine that they give to if you've OD'd and they give you this
Narcan?
Narcan. They giving that shit out like candy now. And the weak legs on this is it's helping save lives for people that have overdosed because they can have it in their house and use it immediately instead of the emergency medical people coming in and having to use it. They can use it immediately. So what do you think the responsible drug addict is going to do with the Narcan? Do you think the responsible thinking drug addict is going to think, golly gee, I better keep this Narcan in my medicine cabinet in here in case I OD, I will be able to save my, or do you think they're going to keep it in there and go, hey, I'm going to do all this fucking drugs I can now because I've got this shit in here that I can use at any time.
Hold on. Let me,
mind is going to think on that one.
I believe they're going to go with option C, which would be to sell it to buy more drugs.
or that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the calculative. Look,
if people's never known an addict, then
they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves.
No.
They can't make a rational decision.
And I'm not saying some addicts are, I have seen some of my people that I've known that are brilliant freaking people, and they get caught by something that they get addicted to, and they become blubbering freaking idiots that don't think about anything but the drug or whatever it is. And these are very smart, common sense people that the drug just destroyed their lives. So do you think the addict is going to do that? So this is the same thing. Oh, we're just going to hand them out and then they'll do. That's why you go through Philadelphia and look at these videos of these people that go through the streets of these big cities and stuff. I don't know if Houston's probably got an area like that. We don't have shit like that around here in my small town where they drive and there's just homeless drug addicts just
oh yeah.
Over.
There's some
they're just what the hell,
there's some places like that for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, and look, Oregon. Okay, is Oregon on a path of political redemption in terms of starting to set policies and laws that are good for their citizens that will keep them safe? Because everything up to this point has been like, you guys can do whatever, and then all of a sudden, I mean, totally unexpected. Let me just pull this image up. You have people on the street. Like there's this lady right here doing dope in an office chair and a top hat on the street. And like, this is what the streets of Oregon look like right now. I mean, like, what did you expect? You have trash. You got people hanging their clothes. You have some sort of a building or office building here that had to put up fencing around its building to keep people out since nobody was looting and nobody was in there. And you got tents on the streets and stuff. Of course, that's what you get whenever you decriminalize hard drugs. You're gonna be a magnet for people that want to do dope.
What happens to that block that contained businesses and
offices
and stuff like that now has homeless people all around it?
Nobody's going to do business there.
Those freaking businesses. And
Deacon, it's just now occurring to me, and let me run this idea past you. Is it possible that Democrats do not understand how magnets work, like actual magnets? Like maybe they don't actually understand how magnets work, and so they can't understand the metaphor that, like, decriminalizing dope makes it a magnet for dope heads, or having a totally open border is a magnet for people around the world that want to just come here and take advantage of you. Maybe they don't. Maybe Democrats don't understand magnetism.
There was a story that I posted that I was kind of going to point that out, like you said right there. We've talked about different stuff like this on the show before. I don't know why it's not pulling up here all of a sudden. About how Africa was clearing out their prisons, sending them to Mexico so that they could come here. We had the story about Venezuela clearing out.
Venezuela's done it, yeah.
So that they could send all their criminals here. In Haiti, gangs have taken over. There's like a big thing going on in Haiti right now. Gangs have taken over mass jailbreak. 4,000. Oh, I'm scrolling on the wrong thing. 3,700 inmates have escaped in this jailbreak in the last 72 hours. Where do you think those 3,700 people are going, JJ? If you just had to take a wild guess, do you think they're going to take a vacation in Spain? Do you think they're going to head to Russia? Where do you think they're going from Haiti?
Are they leaving or are they taking over? I mean, it says that they
they're over right now, but where do you think some of
well, I bet you a bunch of them are gonna get into somewhere where they can cross in the US. You better hope we don't shoot you.
You better hope.
That would be bad.
I got another political story here. This one's real quick, JJ.
This is scary, dude.
It's a scary one. I wanted to ask you a very, very important question on this right here. Kamala Harris said.
Okay.
But Kamala Harris recently says that there must be an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. The vice president says a pause in fighting for at least 6 weeks is needed to save hostages and ensure aid for besieged civilians. I just have one question for you. Your honest opinion.
Yeah.
Should we get Vice President Kamala Harris a hobby like crocheting or model airplanes or something like that? Because she seems like she's bored and she's looking for things to do. So I was wondering if we could brainstorm together on like some ideas that maybe she could take up as a hobby, because she obviously seems very bored, so I was thinking crocheting, that's pretty. I mean, that's a kind of a calming little thing, and she could make little President Trump dolls with little X's over the eyes, and she could sell those on Etsy or something like that. It could be like a supplemental income type thing for her.
That would be
positive for our vice president.
Well, look, she's already done such a great job. She's been our border czar, and I believe that maybe she might have stepped away from that particular assignment to not do that. And then I think she was our AI czar. She's our.
I mean, there's no need to czar anymore.
It's check that it's there.
It's there.
There's still it's on the maps. I've checked all the maps and they match. She was our AI czar, and it's not like we've had, any kind of breakout of wildly racist AI lately, except for the one.
But just the one.
Just that one. So she just needs something to do, I think. She just needs something to do. Why not get in the middle of some international conflict that we have no business funding or being involved in?
Exactly. Okay, let me see. I had one more here for you. Well, I had two more.
Let's talk about Gina. You want to talk about Gina? Or we got some international news. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, see, you did this German story. I don't know the angle you going on here.
Well, I didn't really.
It's dark.
Talk about that because it is kind of dark. But I was just kind of reading that story, and I was like, see, everybody talks about violence in America, and I mean, unfortunately, German has some same. It was just a terrible thing that happened in Germany, and a soldier has turned himself in. He killed 4 people over the weekend there.
Yeah.
And I think a child was killed. It was just
that's terrible
story. And I'm like, gosh, see, and everybody says America.
Look, the whole
idiots with guns are everywhere.
It's not just the idiots with guns. Human beings are fragile. Okay, they're fragile. They pretend to be strong. They pretend to be consistent. They pretend to be stable. But any kind of circumstance, some kind of circumstance for any given person, there's some different circumstance that can push you, that can just tilt you right out of that stable state. And your brain doesn't just breaks and you just do like things that don't make sense. Okay. It could be infidelity. It could be somebody took something from you. It could be you've lost your ability to manage your emotional control of anger or your vengeance.
Some people don't know how to cope with when you break. And that's
right.
what breaks. And some people do. We all hit a breaking point.
Absolutely.
Point. I can name mine right now, but you learn how to cope with it.
Taxes.
It's every April 15th is my breaking point.
I need to see if I can write this show up somehow.
The other story I want to bring up real quick, and then you can bring up the little thing. I'm not going to allow ads.
No ads.
No, I'm not going to do this. I just wanted to bring up this because this was an interesting thought. I just saw it on Reddit, cesspool Reddit. The vasectomy boom. Younger men are stepping up. Planned Parenthood clinics in some states are providing vasectomies, and young men want them because they can't offer the abortion. The abortion.
Listen.
So wait a minute. Let me get to our thought.
Yeah.
So these Planned Parenthoods are not offering abortion. Okay, they're offering vasectomies, and these younger men want the vasectomies because the obvious glaring reason. We don't have to explain why younger men would want a vasectomy. So but what I was getting at is, so they've kind of got around the we're not killing babies. All right, we're not killing babies. But you've created a whole new problem on a whole new page, okay? Because yes, you're not killing babies, but you and I are fathers. And there is something that unlocks in most men's brain when they become a father that transforms you into a different being, okay? And if you never experience that, it's very unfortunate. All right, it is very unfortunate. But
it's not just unfortunate. I mean, like, what would be a metaphor? It's like you're a caterpillar and you never stop being a caterpillar.
Right.
Or it's like you play Super Mario Brothers and you never pick up a mushroom ever. And you're just the little tiny Mario.
Right.
You're
fine as a caterpillar, or you're fine as little Mario.
You don't even know that you're on level 1, dummy.
You can completely but you don't know about the metamorphosis that you go through and you continue to go through as a parent.
Wow.
These young men are getting these vasectomies, and it's not an easy process to get a reverse vasectomy. Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. Sorry, that was my Michael Scott office reference of the day.
I mean, I think the liberals, and I mean, default Democrats, and especially the like ideological ones, I think they're like trying to exterminate themselves between inducing gender confusion or abortion, or in this case, you can have vasectomy. You think that you can just undo that like 100% of the time it'll work when you need it to? You're wrong.
If you go down the rabbit holes with conspiracy theories, there's several. It's population control and what was the other one? It was just on my freaking brain and I can't remember now. I can't remember.
Hey, check this out. This is related to what you're saying. It turns out that red states have more children per capita. Texas ranks number 4 in the U.S. as children per capita. Children per capita would be like the number of children you have as a ratio of the number of citizens that live there. So blue states have a bunch of people and they don't have kids. They are not reproducing. They are not replenishing their population. Red states making more population. That means long-term, eventually, you're all going to be Republicans because all the Democrats will just die off. They will have no kids, and then they will have nobody to fund their Social Security, and then they will just be, like blue-haired and gay or something, and they're just going to be gone. Sorry. That's the
who did you? Oh, you were going to talk about Gina.
We got some entertainment news.
Talk about this Dune, and then I got a Dune story.
We're running out of time too. Because you got to do your music stuff. All right. So Gina Carano opens up about the Disney lawsuit in Live After Mandalorian. If you guys don't recall, Gina Carano, famously, who was in the movie Haywire and also was in MMA. She played Cara Dune on season 2 of Mandalorian, I think it was, and fans liked her. In fact, of season 2, she was probably one of the only things that was good in that show.
She was a badass chick. She was awesome.
Yeah.
We liked her character. She played it very well.
She said that, I'm not going to try to retweet what she said or whatever, but she basically made an allusion that making your political opponents the other is the precipice, is the first step in genocide. It's the first step in what happened in the 1940s against the Jews. You start describing them as the other, and then you can gradually dehumanize them and then take things away from them. So she was saying something, and to which the leftists were like, she's a Nazi. And they got Disney to fire her. Well, Elon Musk said, look, if anybody was fired because of something on Twitter, he put up the offer to pay their legal bills. So lawyers working for X, aka working for Elon Musk, are now suing Disney on behalf of Gina Carano. And I mean, you got to think about this from her perspective. Like, she's been in movies. She's kind of I wouldn't say a movie star. I'm sorry, but she's definitely a performer. She's not a legal expert. She's not somebody out there for the political fight. She's just being who she is and trying to tell things that are true, and was punished for it. Now, probably some of the smartest lawyers in the world are going against Disney on her behalf. Okay. And she says, they want to see things done right by me. That is Elon Musk and stuff. I'm happy like that. People are going to actually have to dig in and take my situation seriously. And they're going to have to understand when they're looking through all of this, what their company Disney was doing. And by looking through that, they're going to have to make adjustments. And so that's going to make it much harder for it to happen to the next person. And that's why what I'm doing is important. When ex-attorneys reached out to Carano, she thought they might have a fighting chance. A lot of people, billionaires, put their money wherever they put it, she said. But to put your money into defending people that have been done wrong is such a noble cause. It's like Elon Musk is some kind of Batman. Elon Musk is Batman.
Wants to be Batman. Elon Musk is a geek like us, man.
I like,
that's why we like him. That's why I've always liked him, is because I was like, dude, he's a geek. And he was a kid in high school that nobody talked to that I would.
I do not agree with Elon on everything, particularly on like environmental whatever, but like
on some things.
But
dead on other things.
He's been making a lot of good, and he's been making a lot of powerful plays, and the benefit has been for all of us. Like Twitter 2 years ago was basically a leftist echo chamber, and it was impacting politics. He's at least given people that hold a differing opinion a place where they can talk and not be immediately censored. Okay. I just wanted to bring up, just ring the bell for Gina Carano for everybody. Yeah, like she's cool. I like her too.
So in entertainment, sticking with entertainment here, for those you may know, you may not know, but JJW here is a huge Dune fan. He's got it right there behind him. I've never read the book, and I'm going to, because it's always been on my list, and he's been like, you need to read this. But yes, I am.
Are you going to read it?
Absolutely will.
Okay.
I'm not lying to you. I absolutely will. I actually need to do that. So Dune Part 2 of the new Dune remake came out
Yeah.
over the weekend. Had an 81.5 million box office debut.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've heard some very negative things about it. People are hating it, but
okay.
I don't know anything about it other than the 80s movie or the 70s. When was it? The early 80s?
Yeah, it was early 80s. That was there were two.
Who directed that?
I think that was David Lynch. I might be wrong. Let me look it up. The one with Kyle MacLachlan though, that's a fun movie. It is very dissimilar from the book, but it's it holds to the high notes. It tries to hit the high notes. Let's see, 1984, Virginia. Oh wow, oh my God, Virginia Madsen is. I was confusing her with somebody else for a second. Yeah, the 84 Dune. Yeah, David Lynch. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good movie. So Dune Part 2 came out and it's on theaters this weekend. $82 million launch. I think it ends on a cliffhanger. That's what I heard. Which is pretty tough because that means that Villeneuve would really have to make Part 3. Which would be an adaptation of Dune Messiah. So I don't want to steal Deacon's thunder. Let's see what the box office by the numbers for Dune is.
Sorry,
but let's see. But you wanted to tell this kind of like story. Right?
Did you see the other story? Did you read that? Okay. So
I read the sad one.
Oh, you read the whole sad one? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's I wanted to share with you because it was kind of sad. Dune Part 2 premiered over the weekend, but it wasn't the first time it was shown. So this guy in Quebec, no, it was where was he at? He was in I don't know where he was.
Canada somewhere though. Yeah. No, Quebec.
Palliative Luc Saint Jean. I guess he was. I don't know. It says it right there.
Is in Quebec. Yeah.
Had an almost impossible final wish when he knew that he was at the end of his life. The movie buff said that he'd like to see Dune Part 2, which was set to be released on March 1st before he died. He expressed this wish. They got in touch with the director, and the director was like, yeah, we'll bring him over here and he can come to the Los Angeles to premiere. And they were like, you don't understand.
He can't travel.
There's no way to move him. We don't know if he's going to be here next week. So they put Dune 2 on a laptop. They sent the assistant, his personal assistant, flew down there to Quebec. They locked themselves in a room, and the man managed to watch the film on his own. All right. Everyone had to sign waivers, blah, 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 blah. So that's sad in itself, but here's the gut punch already for this. That's sad. And you're like, oh, there's a gut punch to this. That's freaking terrible. The man was too weak. They started the movie on the laptop and he fell asleep while the movie was going on, and he never woke up, and he died.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He died later before seeing the end of the movie. Did that suck, man? That's a gut punch, man. That's a shitty one.
Reading this story made me sad, and it made me sad for like a couple of different reasons, and one of which is like, I feel bad that your dying wish is to watch a movie. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. And it's not the first time we've seen stories like that. There's been stories like where, like kids with leukemia or something like that, or right. And like, then they end up passing. And, it's like, it's a kindness to let somebody kind of have that wish. But I guess I put myself mentally, I put myself in his shoes, and I'm like, if the last thing that I want is to watch a movie, and I just like, I can't imagine how tough life must be that is the thing that you want You know, like, does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
it does. I see what you're saying.
Like he must have been in such pain or agony or, you know, like trapped in that bed with tubes or whatever, that the farthest his imagination could go was, I want to watch this movie. And I'm sure maybe he liked the first movie, loved the first movie, whatever, loved the story. Like, I can get it. I love I love Dune. Dune is a great book, great story. I've seen a bunch of different adaptations of it, but I can't imagine. I don't understand how that would be my, I think of all the other things that I would want more, you know, like the last thing I would want is to hug my kids or hold my wife's hand or,
well, we
you know, like,
you know.
Yeah, I don't know. And so I feel like sympathy or empathy. But I'm glad they tried. Yeah.
One more thing here. You might like this. I'm just going to I'm going to play it. It is 30 seconds long.
Yes, do it.
Pull it up here. You're going to like this one.
Hello, Overseer Hank here. I just wanted to welcome you to Vault 33 and compliment you on your excellent choice in underground dwelling locations. You'll find your living quarters on sublevel 2, the mess and crop fields on sublevel 4, and a roach infestation on sublevel 5.
Ew, gross.
Seriously, don't go to sublevel 5. It's Vault 33 for you and for me.
What is going on there?
For you and for me. It's the new TV series.
Oh, they're making a TV show. Oh, right, they are. It's on Amazon. Yeah, it comes out soon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you see who Overseer Hank is there?
No, who's that?
Okay, hang on. I'm going to pull him up over here on this screen. Overseer Hank is Kyle MacLachlan.
Oh, really?
Kyle MacLachlan? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was Paul Atreides in Dune
and Twin Peaks. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
On Twin Peaks the most. I love it. I want to watch.
Man.
It. So good.
So when you posted that, I was thinking of a story that I saw last week, but I didn't mention to you, and I thought maybe you would think this is cool. Have you ever played Fallout?
Yes, absolutely.
Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout whatever. Have you ever thought, hey, it'd be cool to own a mini nuke?
Yes.
Because coming on April 11th, you can buy the game anthology, every Fallout game ever, and it's a collector's edition, and it comes in a mini nuke. Get your own mini nuke to put on your desk. That's pretty cool. You guys could send, you guys, all of you guys out there, all around the world, in Germany, y'all could send me one. Send Deke one. And Deke could put a little mini nuke on his shelf back there. That'd be dope. All right.
Man, that would be a good game to put on my, there's so many games that I got on my back burner list to play, but that would be a good one to go back and replay is Fallout 3.
They need to like remaster it, you know, like make it, I don't know. Okay. All right. Hey, we got a few minutes. We got just a couple minutes left. You want to do music? Yeah, music.
Songs this week are weird ass 90s songs.
Okay.
Weird ass 90s songs are the theme.
All right.
Okay. So JJ, have you ever heard Geggy Ta, Whoever You Are?
Don't know.
It was on the radio.
No idea.
Quite a bit. All right. So this song was by a guy named Greg Kirsten, and a guy named like Tommy Duncan or something like that was his buddy, Tommy Morgan or something like that. And one of their little daughters couldn't pronounce Greg and Tommy, so she called him Geggy, and that one was Ta. And so their band's name is Geggy Ta. And they had one little album. This song was on the radio. It was all I want to do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. You changed lanes while I was driving in my car. Do you remember
yes. Yes.
That is this song. It's called Whoever You Are by Geggy Ta. I had this tape or CD in my car when I was younger, and I had a buddy that absolutely despised this freaking song, and I played it all the time to piss him off. And this was a fun little song. The funny thing is, Greg Kirsten has become like a huge music producer. He's behind a lot of freaking crap today. Yeah, he's won all kinds of awards and stuff. So he's still very much in music, but weird ass 90s songs. I've got some weird ass 90s songs for you this week, man. There is a song that was had radio play over the summer, like 30 years ago, and I've never heard of it since. I don't know if it was just on 94.5 The Edge or what, but it was something called Ponderous. And for decades, I have off and on looked for it. I can't find it. It ever existed. It was sort of a really strange, like, anyway. And so when you said that this week is 90s songs, it made me kind of go see if I could find that. I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it. So that's what we're going to have this week is weirdo 90s stuff. That's a good song. Yeah. I found something here. I'm going to share it with you after we get off the air.
Play it. It hasn't been on the air in 40 years. Nobody's going to know who it is. Google doesn't know who it is.
It would take me 5 minutes to do and go through my
process.
On the air.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, folks. At the end of the show, every week, you hang out here all through the whole show, and you earn your hilarious moment of jokes and laughter. Deacon, Deacon. How does a spider go into battle?
I don't know.
Well armed.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Back when our kids were younger, I used to think Ashley used to be like really negative because I would come in from going shopping or something like that with the kids, and I remembered the car seat, I remembered the stroller, I remembered the diaper bag. I did my job, and all that's coming out of her negative mouth is, "You forgot the baby. You forgot the baby." I mean, come on. One thing. I know.
It's okay.
That was a stretch today. I'm sorry.
I don't know where
Where's my laugh?
It got muted. Here you go. I don't know why it got muted. It's weird. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you haven't already, allow me to remind you to like and subscribe. And we will be back tomorrow, 8:00 in the morning, here on YouTube. And rumble.com/JJW.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right.
Come on, every time
you can help us
the line of the song makes me so mad.
Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth.
Do your Two Dads show.
Do your Two Dads show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know.